Thank you very much and good evening. I want to start by just explaining a little bit about the context with which I have the pleasure of working with Ann. I'm a private equity investor. Ann is the CEO that runs my largest investment, and she's a rock star. And so I was floored when she asked me to come present her with this award. So two themes that I'm going to touch on tonight as it relates to Ann, performance and integrity. So starting with performance, our relationship began 6.5 years ago with an investment in a company I'm sure you all know called The Times. She was the CEO, and because she wanted to show off on her capabilities, within a year she made an acquisition to double the size of the business, and then took on the challenge of merging the cultures of a company from Minnesota with one from Starkville, Mississippi, which could not be two more different environments. She then took on the scariest thing that any private equity investor could ever suggest, which is an ERP implementation, which she did well and on budget, on time. Then she decided to expand her management team, restructure, bring on 2 senior hires, 2 recapitalizations, and then a pandemic hit. So in the midst of all that, what did Ann do? Well, she grew earnings over 9 times and is on the brink of returning over 7 times to her investors. Results matter, and Ann is a superstar. The second category that I would bring up is integrity. And so I thought a little bit about the words that I would use to describe Ann, and I would say trustworthy, thoughtful, humble, patient. She's an outstanding listener, empathetic, fair, balanced, and just with every constituent that she deals with, be it her board, her employees, her customers, or her suppliers, she's the same person all the time. As a private equity investor, you're always looking for a CEO that can win. For me, I'm always looking for a CEO that can win and win the right way, and that is Ann Sempowski Award. So it is my honor to introduce her and present her with this award.
Good evening. Let me first start by answering, since sports is a theme, let me answer the first question on all of your minds. Did she play basketball? The answer is yes, although I can assure you that my basketball career would have never earned me any awards. So I'm grateful to be doing what I'm doing today. First of all, Troy, thank you. I couldn't have asked, so much I could say, but they probably bring the Apollo Sandman out and escort me off the stage because I talk too long. But thank you for your always support and mentorship. It means everything to me. And by the way, Troy flew in from Boston tonight to actually be here. I want to say thank you to Ann Sample and the team at Navigate Forward for always supporting me in my board journey. You truly are the wind beneath my board wings. And to Allison, Tess, all of the team at TCB, thank you for choosing me for this honor. I am truly humbled, and for making tonight special for all of us honorees, because, a year ago this wouldn't have been possible. So let me start by saying a name, Dolores Wharton. Probably don't know that name, and to be honest, I didn't either until I thought about this award tonight. Dolores Wharton is, by all record, the first African-American board director that served on a corporate board. She was a woman who had great kind of history and story. She served on 3 corporate boards, but she was rare. But to be clear, her first board service was in 1974. So when I found that out, I thought, oh, I need to know a little bit more about Dolores Wharton. But then I thought to myself, wait a minute. Her first has been in my lifetime. And I paused and I thought about that. So I thought to myself, as I stand before you tonight, I stand on the shoulders of Dolores and so many more like Dolores who served on boards many years ago, but not that many years ago. African Americans, we as African Americans have not had the opportunities to serve on boards for more than 5 decades. And so for me, as a woman, a Black woman, I stand here and I say to myself, I'm part of the 5%, actually less than 5% of Black women who serve on corporate boards. That number is startling to me. But as Nancy also said, I realize that to whom much is given, much is required. And so I have made it my personal mission to make sure that there are more faces like me, more voices like me in the boardroom. And it's not just about the issues that we tackle, it's about the way we all see the world. And when you have a board that sees the world in so many different ways, it makes the board stronger and it makes the company stronger. So tonight, I'm going to keep it short and sweet, and I'm just going to say, I implore each of you, as fellow board directors, as investors, as executives, as community leaders, as thought leaders, and as conscious humans, to join me in being brave. We are called to be leaders of consequence, not leaders of comfort. Look around you tonight. The feeling of comfort is what's in this room. It's what you know. But the consequential path lies in the unexplored. To ensure our boards are the most effective and forward-looking, we must include the forgotten, ask the hard questions, and speak the unspoken, individually and collectively. The directors, boards, and companies that will stand out for the next decade will be those that take the road less traveled. They recognize leadership and governance grounded in honesty, courage, intentionality, and inclusivity will generate better returns for all stakeholders. So in the words of Amanda Gorman, the brilliant poet who stood on the stage at inauguration, said, and she put it best, "When day comes, we step out of the shade, aflame and unafraid. The new dawn blooms as we free it, for there is always light, if we're brave enough to see it, if we're brave enough to be it." Today is the day that Amanda speaks of. Where will you be the light? Thank you.